I find this all quite preposterous.
Oh, I say, good sir. Oh, harumph. But
So we're back in town here, since the weather didn't dry up as we had expected. So trying plan B, get some filming done for our video tutorial, lead rope soloing, redundant flow method. Okay, so for the dead end, ropes dead ends, I use these funnels made from PE, kitchen funnels, cheap, easy, won't break. I use them to prevent the dead end knots from getting stuck in some cracks when pulling up the dead end. And it works pretty well so far. Just make sure I tie a knot that seriously won't open in any case. So I really tighten them. And if you're really paranoid, I tie a second knot. You could even use some duct tape over it, but I'll just use duct tape to fix the funnel. Under the bridge downtown. So I use a second belay loop, a parallel one, in order to attach the REVOs in a parallel and stable position, so that I can handle the ropes as if they were just one. And since I don't have a harness with a prefixed double parallel loop, I just made one myself with some Dyneema cord that's got some holding forces of up to 16 kilonewton one, and I doubled it up, tied it off nicely, properly, and that's it. Another thing I like is to use some rubber tapes, or I use some bicycle tube in order to keep the carabiners and thus the REVOs as high as possible. For me, that makes it easier to grab the ropes when pulling out some slack, for example. So in order to prevent the REVO from sliding across the bend, I use these rubber rings. As mentioned before, they're quite cheap if you take them off some empty beer bottles. And they're really sticky, so they stay nicely in their position. I use two of them on the back of the carabiner, so that the REVOs don't slide over. Okay, and if you're really paranoid about the REVO even getting hooked on something on this side of the carabiner, of course, then you can use another one of these rings even on this side. So that really prevents the REVO from moving anywhere else than in its ideal position. So one simple, quick and easy solution in my eyes for the cache management are these two micro tractions fixed to the harness with normal duct tape, and it works perfectly for me. I can put in the ropes one-handed, close it, and take them back out one-handed as well. Under the bridge, down the bridge, down the bridge. So instead of just sitting around here at the best belay ever, I may as well build an anchor, attach the ropes with the cloth hitch, 2 cloth hitches. So I take about 1 or 2 meters of slack. One. Okay, and I'm set for the rappel. Okay, just to clarify, so the cloth hitches have been made on the side of the free end of the dead ends of my cache side, so that I can actually rappel with my hands on the live rope side. Okay, getting back to the anchor. I first, of course, attach myself and then get ready to haul and then restack the rope. So I'm pulling up the dead ends, so now I can stack them back into the backpack. Okay, one thing that helps me get the ropes untangled or untwisted in case they have got twisted is separating them with one finger. So this way I really hardly ever had troubles. Okay, so as a matter of fact, I now lowered myself a tiny bit so that it's easier for me to stack the rope into the backpack. And now I've come to the point where the REVOs are fixed, so I'll have to take these off. And of course, always before detaching myself from the belay device, I make sure I'm really well attached to the anchor. And here, since I'm gonna undo these, I'll have to connect these 2 bolts. So now I take off the REVOs, trying not to drop any of them. And before I undo these 2 cloth hitches, I attach this carabiner that I've mentioned to redirect the rope, and at the same time make sure they don't fall off the mountain. Okay, now I can continue to stack the ropes. Ideally trying not to pull them over my daisy, don't like that. As long as they're not twisted, I don't need to separate them, of course. So there they come again, my 2 funnels, 2 ends. So I'll attach them in order to prepare for the next lead. Okay, and what I do is I always first fix my left one, or attach my left one first. Coming from the funnel, I insert the rope from the lower side, away from me, and then put the rope to the right of the REVO, the right side of the REVO. Okay. For me, the easiest way to attach the second REVO is to go below the dead end of the left REVO. And here as well, I start from the side away from me. So this way, both dead ends go out on the right side of the REVO. Okay, so then they should be parallel again, and as mentioned, both dead ends go across and to the right in my case. This is a personal preference. I like to attach a quick draw on my harness that keeps the dead ends, free ends separated from the live ropes. So it's for me it's much easier to grab the right strands when clipping. But this is just a personal preference. Okay, I'm almost ready for the next lead. Just need to attach my bag. Make sure the rope comes out nicely. And here again, before I take off my self-belay, make sure everything is all right. Okay, I'm attached here. Both strands are attached nicely, correctly. And off we go. Into the wild.
Is that me? I used to wear blue pants.